The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
We get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. You realize you are talking a little out of both sides of your mouth with bowl games and conference championship games. ESPN makes money on the bowls. They are the reason the bowl schedule is the way it is, and they don't want that changed. Now, I realize that, but I think at some point in time, even for them, it's going to flip because there's going to be a point in time where the expense of putting on those bowls is greater than what they can generate from a subscriber off of their cable subscriptions and their advertising. The advertising component of ESPN has always been a very small number, compared to making money off of the subscribers. And now the streaming aspect of things has also changed that business model dramatically for a lot of people. So I think it's getting closer to where even for ESPN, where they're going to have to look at this and go, hey, even though we have the college football playoff and we control that, having these other 32 meaningless bowl games, even though that helps drive content and live sports and all that kind of stuff, that the amount that we're bringing in versus the amount that we're paying, at some point in time, that payoff is not going to be there. Yeah. And I think when we get to because I think at some point in time, you might get to a 36-team playoff. And if you get to a 36, then all the bowl games go away. Right. Or they get incorporated into that playoff. Yeah. And it becomes, hey, the first round is the Bluebonnet Bowl, or the second round is the Copper Bowl, or the third round is this, or whatever. And then you're playing. But I the other thing that I look at too, Craig, is, and we're certainly in this vein here, where you have invested $500 million or more in your football stadium. It's probably more than that, because it was like 270 just for the South End. So you might have probably to do what we have now at Jones Stadium, you're probably talking $750 to $1 billion if you had just a bare stretch of ground. To build what we have today, no doubt, it would cost you $1 billion, including the indoor facility, the offices, everything that you've got over there. If it came and it got wiped off the face of the earth, and you had to replace it, it would cost you $1 billion. So, and my point on this is going to be, at some point in time, these ADs and athletic departments here and everywhere are going to say, we've built these, quote, Taj Mahals for 7 home games. We need an 8th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it used to be you got 6.
They'd love to have it right now.
It used to be that you got 6, right?
Yeah, right.
6 was what now everybody's posturing and buying out these, immaculate conception,
Yep.
It's not immaculate. It's incarnate word.
Incarnate word.
Yeah, incarnate word. Incarnate word is not an immaculate conception. Yeah. Incarnate word. They're buying out the incarnate words of the world, okay, to be able to get more home games.
Yep.
And so at some point in time, you're going to want, not only do you want that first round playoff game, we want the second round playoff game too.
And I think, for me personally, I think the key factor in all this, and you hear it, and it's starting to get more and more chatter, and usually where there's some smoke, there's something cooking. And the idea of 48, 64 teams playing for a championship, and then if you're not in the original 64, there's an avenue for you to get into there, and an avenue for you not to stay if you don't perform at a certain level. And then when you do that, you're going to get, a lot of playoff games. And
yeah, look at the NCAA basketball tournament. Yeah. It's now up to 76 teams.
Yeah.
It's effectively put in the NIT, which used to be the number 2 tournament, is not even the number 2 tournament anymore.
Yep.
At least on the women's side.
Yeah, and I just foresee in football, regionalization's got to come back. I mean, Stanford cannot continue to go to Miami and Virginia and Clemson and you know, that just
I think the regionalization comes back for every sport but football.
You know, Kyle Whittingham said this the other day. He thinks that divisions like the NFL has, you take 64 teams and you put them in divisions and then you geographically arrange those divisions. He foresees that happening in football. I don't think that's far off. It may be a variation of that.
The problem is that you've got you have allowed and they have earned it. Okay, you've allowed and they've earned it and you've allowed it for the SEC and the Big Ten to control college athletics.
Yeah,
because you're not doing anything without the SEC and the Big Ten signing off on it. You're just not, and so. I don't think they would ever make a concession where they would get rid of the SEC and the Big Ten in terms of football. They might make a concession and go, yeah, we really don't need our rowing team going from Corvallis to Maryland, you know. And I mean, look, when you look at the economics of just moving a team from one end of the country to another, aside from football, because football can justify it, because you know probably 85 cents or maybe even more. It might even be 90 cents out of every dollar that's generated is football related. You would know that.
Do you not sense, though, 16-team conference, Big Ten or SEC now, they play 9 conference games, all right? If you had 2 8-team divisions, that means you're going to play 7 conference games in your division, and then you're going to play 2 from the other division. But you keep the Big Ten together, you keep the SEC together, but you regionalize the Big Ten, you regionalize the SEC.
I think the regionalization just comes back to, I think whatever men's basketball does, women's basketball will do, and then the other sports will follow.
Yeah.
I think when you're telling your volleyball team go out to Morgantown to play a 3-set match, and you're there for an hour. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, and I would tell you the same thing for hoops too. I mean, you're going you last year we had two city. Well, I take that back. We had 3 2-city trips. One was to Morgantown and then Cincinnati, and that made sense. Yeah. And we flew from Morgantown to Cincinnati, and then one was BYU and Utah, and that made perfect sense because Utah's 45 minutes away from Provo.
Yeah. Yep.
Salt Lake.
But you take 125 players and the staff and try to move them from Stanford to Clemson.
I got it.
That's a lot of money.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Morning Drive. Today is Wednesday, July the 29th, 2026. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Starting in 1950, Pee Wee Reese hits the 3,000th home run for the Dodgers. Not his 3,000th. That would be like a record or something.
That would be a record. People would be questioning Pee Wee Reese.
Yes. 1968, Cincinnati Reds. George Culver no-hits the Phillies 6-1. 1989, White Sox trade Harold Baines to the Rangers for Scott Fletcher. This was the Cubs. No, this was Sosa. He went from the White Sox to the Cubs. And Sammy Sosa. So this was the trade that a certain former president of the United States wishes he could go back and read it.
Right, yeah. He realized maybe I'm not a baseball guy, right?
Yeah.
No, he's a baseball guy. You can be a president and be the baseball guy.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, sometimes you make those decisions, go, oh, yeah, maybe somebody's a little smarter than me on this.
1991, former Red Raider baseball player Mike Humphreys makes his major league debut with the Yankees in the 5th inning and goes 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored in a 10-8 loss to the A's.
That's Gus's friend, isn't it? Mike Humphreys.
He has a lot of friends. You're going to have to be more specific.
I think he's like an infielder or something.
Yeah, I think he's like a first baseman. I want to say that.
Yep.
And in 1996, one of my favorites, Major League Baseball Los Angeles Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda retires with a record of 1599 and 14-39. So 1599 wins, 1439 losses, 4 National League pennants, 2 World Series championships, and some really fun commercials.
You know, it makes you wonder why he didn't go for
one more win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably afraid of one more loss.
It would have been, yeah, right. But
I'm pretty sure it was also health concerns. Like, there was a reason he quit in the middle of the season.
I think it was health.
Yep.
It is National Chicken Wing Day.
Okay, I'm a big fan.
Bone in or bone out?
Bone in.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with boneless wings. Let's make this clear. They are delicious. They are wonderful. They are chicken nuggets. Let's call them what they are.
Yeah. I did.
They're wonderful and delicious.
I cooked my very first chicken wings on my Blackstone the other day.
How were they?
Everybody that ate them said they were good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no complaining. It was just chewing.
Yeah. Okay. All I can tell you is thank goodness for YouTube videos.
Okay.
It showed me how to do it because I would have not known.
Happy birthday. Former Red Raider outfielder Barrett Barnes is 35.
Okay.
He's now the coach of the Houston Wildcatters. Yeah. It's a developmental league team.
He was on a Dan Spencer team, wasn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that last Dan Spencer team, I wonder if he amongst others have regrets in terms of how it went for him that year.
Sure they do.
I mean, just in terms of, because it seemed to me like they left a lot of meat on the bone there.
Yep.
Dak Prescott turns 33 today. Josh Radnor is 52, and Martina McBride is 60.
So did Dak Prescott, by virtue of his T-shirt yesterday at training camp, did he predict Super Bowl for the Cowboys?
I don't know. I missed his T-shirt.
He wore the championship shirt from Super Bowl 30.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Super Bowl or bust.
How about win a playoff game? Right, Jeff?
How about let's make it to the NFC Championship game?
Yeah. No, right.
Haven't done that since that year either.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Browns have made it to their championship game.
Yesterday's opening training camp press conference, Jerry's got some optimism again.
He does have
shocking.
Does have some optimism.
And on this day, 1967, a fire aboard the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier stationed off the coast of Vietnam kills 134 service members. The deadly fire on the USS Forrestal began with the accidental launch of a rocket. The ship was preparing an attack when the rocket from one of its own F-4 Phantom jet fighters was accidentally launched. The rocket streaked across the deck and hit a parked A-4 Skyhawk, which was waiting to take off. The pilot of that A-4, Senator John McCain.
Okay.
Well, who would become Senator John McCain.
Sure.
This was before he went to the next ship where he took a flight and then ended up being a POW,
Right.
John McCain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fuel from the Skyhawk spilled out onto the deck, catching fire. Fire then spread to nearby planes and the ship's deck and detonated a 1,000-pound bomb, which killed many of the initial firefighters and further spread the fire.
And it was McCain's plane that crashed?
No. His was the one that got hit by the rocket.
Gotcha.
He was about to take off.
Well, that's a sign that you may want to stay in the bunk.
Chain reaction of explosions.
Not come out.
Chain reaction of explosions blew holes in the flight deck and half of the large ship on fire at one point. Many pilots were trapped in their planes as the fire spread. It took a full day before fires could be fully contained. And this day in sports history.
This day in sports history.
My PS for that, don't ever forget those guys and ladies that were in the Vietnam War.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't ever forget them.
No doubt.
The ones that didn't come back, nor the ones that did.
6:51 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Just a reminder, the Cowboys went 7-9-1 last year.
And
Super Bowl is Valentine's Day this year, February 14th, 2027. Jerry said, we plan on being there. Well, I'm sure you will. There's an owner's meeting.
They'll sell you tickets.
Yeah.
Listen, the offense is good enough to be in that conversation.
Yep.
If everybody stays healthy, there's no argument that the offense can score a ton of points. And they did a lot to improve the defense. They had a lot to go from to improve. They were the only team in the NFL last year that averaged giving up 30 points a game. If
you read between the lines yesterday, he's not afraid to make a deal on the defensive side right now.
Yeah, he says this. He's willing to, quote, give up the future, Jeff.
Yep. He doesn't have any future. So he doesn't care. And that's fine if they win.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Are they one player away on defense? We don't know. We're going to have to see how this team, the rookies come in and the young players come in. But the albatross that is Dak Prescott's contract and CeeDee Lamb's contract and everybody else's that's been the highest paid player at their position on offense, there's a reason your defense isn't good.
Yeah. They need a couple of rookies to really play well because that keeps them from having to go spend a bunch of money that they don't have for the defensive side.
That whole salary cap thing.
Jerry says, I feel that good about this team this year.
Gee, Jerry, when was the last time you felt bad about your team?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It was a relatively quiet offseason, though, for the Cowboys, by Cowboys standards.
Well, they have no salary cap room, so they can't sign any free agents. Mm-hmm. They did the draft and did well in the draft, but those guys just signed their contracts. Those are all pretty well negotiated beforehand now.
Right.
So what exactly did you expect the offseason to entail?
The Pickens situation could have blown up on them, and it didn't.
It didn't, right. That seemed to have gone. I
think we're going to find out, I'm interested to see how the first week of training camp goes with him there. If he's a proud soldier and doing what he and I got no issue if he is, or if he's the grumpy guy on the sideline because he didn't get a contract this summer. I'm interested to see how that goes.
How about just making the routine play? We know he can make the spectacular one.
I think he can make all the plays. I've not been upset.
They need him to.
I've not been upset with him on the field at all.
There's just been some times we've had some big drops.
Name a Cowboy who hasn't had a big drop.
I understand. I understand.
Right. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Double T 97.3 mobile app and the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You can go to that. So Will Hammond spent some time on Big 12 radio yesterday, and he said that his surgeon fully cleared him roughly 3 weeks ago. He did say that Texas Tech's athletic training staff and ultimately probably the head coach has the final say in terms of when he returns to, quote, full football activities. He also said that he and Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes stayed in contact with each other throughout the rehab process. Hammond said he was about a month ahead of Mahomes' timetable, so they compared notes and talked about their different stages of recovery. I mean, I think that's awesome that Mahomes would open himself up like that. I mean, it's not a surprise, right? It's not a surprise, and he's certainly not doing it for show. But man, just for him to kind of open his interpersonal, activities like that with a college quarterback, even though it is his alma mater and it's relatively the same injury, and they're going through a grueling process of trying to get themselves rehabbed. Look, Mahomes is the face of the NFL. We all know that.
Yeah.
And so he's obviously careful about what he does and how he conducts his business.
I thought one of the interesting things was Hammond talking about the discussions about the mental aspect of the injury when you come back and having the confidence and those kind of things. And who better than Patrick Mahomes to talk about, how to get your head right. And I mean, he's been through it. I mean, and at the highest level, he's had to have that confidence. So you're right. To have Patrick Mahomes as a resource in something like this, there's not a price tag on that.
Anybody who's had, first of all, anybody who's had any kind of surgery and they're kind of trying to come back from it, just regular humans, you have that thought in your mind in terms of if you've been used to doing something and you injure yourself, whether it's how you've done it. But I think you take it obviously to next levels when you're talking about a college athlete or a professional athlete, and that's their livelihood. But then the other hand, it's just knowing that they all know that they're a play away from being done. But now it's ramped up for each one of those guys because and Mahomes even admitting that this injury will be with him for the remainder of his career in some aspects.
Yep.
Because it's not going to be perfect. It's not ever going to be 100%. But the fact that he's been able to rehab and get himself in this position, but both those guys are going to need to take a hit before they feel like, or plant that foot, or make that extra step before they really feel like that they're over the hump.
No doubt. And I've never had knee surgery myself, but I've been around those that have, and you've got to gain that confidence that you can do what you want to do. And how you gain that confidence, I mean, you're right. He's if Will Hammond keeps it and runs around the end and plants that foot and that knee, just nothing happens. That's a big step for him going further. And
no doubt.
And also people are just like Patrick Mahomes. When the older you get, the more that surgery means as far as the future. Mm-hmm. I mean, and this is his second one, and he knows what to do and how to do it. And the one thing about Patrick Mahomes, I would trust him completely if he told me, here's how he feels, or here's what's happening. And I don't think he would try to rush back out unless he was ready.
No, but you gotta table that enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, and the competitive nature of both of them. He and Will Hammond.
That's why they're
both.
so successful.
Yeah.
That's why Mahomes is so successful.
Yeah,
is because of how of what he's been able to do, and he understands his body more than anybody. And you've got to have that governor kind of inside that goes, okay, I know that I can do this, but I mean, in terms of some of those guys, the one wrong step can put them out.
And that competitive nature is why they've got a chance to be back on the field in 9 months instead of 12.
Yeah, and I'm curious about the basketball player too.
Yeah,
and how he's doing. Yeah.
Rumors are that he's going to be back a lot earlier than people anticipated.
I've heard from the beginning.
Yeah,
but I don't have any. I mean, not talk to a trainer, not talk to the coach, not talk to him. Yeah. But that's what you hear. That's what the scuttlebutt is around town. Somebody says, "I wonder if Hammond and Toppin talk as well." I have no idea.
I would imagine they do.
Probably. I mean, they probably run into each other in
the rehab.
In the rehab, right? And it would only be natural. But both those guys are in a bubble too.
Yes.
They're both in a bubble, and the basketball bubble seems to be it's a smaller bubble. Yep. I think the football bubble, you could fit 2 or 3 people or more. You might be able to fit the whole damn team in that bubble. Basketball bubble is just and that is based on the direction of the head coach and his staff.
Yep.
In those particular, I mean, you've got it's interesting to me. You have and you're always going to have different personalities with your coaches, but you look at the personality of your football coach and your men's basketball coach, and it's completely different.
Yep.
You look at the personality.
And both very successful how they do it.
Yes.
You look different.
You look at your soccer coach and his personality, and your baseball coach is completely different.
Yep.
And women's hoops, I'm around those guys all the time. I mean, and they're pretty open with stuff.
Yeah.
And Coach Gerlich she's as passionate as they come. And you go to a game, and you can see what drives that group, and it's awesome to see and experience, and so there's no cookie cutter personality of your head coaches, and then you look at Wes Kitley, and all he does is a steady Eddie.
Yep.
All he does is win.
And you talk about rehab. Rehabbing a knee in basketball is probably a percentage, 90% the same, but there are certain moves and things that you need to prepare for in basketball that are different than football. So I would imagine their rehabs, are very, very similar, but they have some different details to them. And but it just amazes me how quick some of these guys are coming back.
I'm just telling you, anybody that's had knee surgery and just trying to walk around, even if you're just a regular Joe, I cannot stress the importance of the rehab.
Yeah.
And I always tell the people that are having the knee replacements, number one, ice is your friend. Number two, stay on the drugs and stay ahead of the pain. And number three is do the rehab, do the rehab, do the rehab,
Yep.
do the rehab, do the rehab. And it is short-term pain, but it is long-term gain.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I spent 50 plus years of my life in pain with knees.
Yep.
And since 2017, I am pain-free, and I'm thankful for it. Yeah, you knock on wood, right?
Yep.
7:25 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Jamie's question of the day is next.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3, presented today by someone not named Jamie, is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Alrighty, guys. Asked you yesterday about the game that interests you most of the Big 12 teams that isn't Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to reverse it with the added caveat. It has to be a conference game.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it would be cheating for us to find a non-conference game that we don't care about because really, there's so few that we do. However, you are limited to Big 12 on Big 12 action. What's the game we would have to strap you to a chair and duct tape your eyeballs open for you to watch?
For us to watch. Okay. Okay. Wow. Man. For us to watch. Let's see here.
So you're asking the least attractive game in the conference.
The game that it would take the Budweiser Clydesdale horses to drag you to, yes.
Oh. Okay.
They're not all winners, guys.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a conference game.
Conference a game. This is Big 12 on Big 12 action.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Right ahead.
Colorado.
And
I'm over the Dion curiosity, and I was right there for the first year. I really was curious to see how he would go from Jackson State to Colorado and how it would translate. I thought he would recruit real well, but I think the transfer portal has really changed how he did or did not get the players that he wanted, but I'm interested in only one factor, and that's that's a road game that you got to win, and that's other than that. You're talking
about the Tech game.
Yeah.
My apologies. Not Texas Tech related.
Yeah, you can't. You can't pick Tech.
No, that's my fault.
You have to pick somebody. You have to pick somebody other than Tech.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
because we're interested in all of the Tech games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you guys look,
I've
got one.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I'm.
Colorado's one of the opponents that's on my list.
Okay.
I do not care about the UCF at Colorado game.
Yeah.
I just don't. That's nothing against UCF necessarily, They're a proud member of the Big 12 for the long tenure that they have been in the conference, and by gosh, they're doing good things over there in Florida. I just can't tell you what any of them are.
They have the cool space uniform.
They got a cool space uniform. They're just doing yeoman's work over there on the East Coast, and I'm proud of them that they're here. I just have no feelings about this game. At all. Bored off my gourd to try to watch this game. Now watch, that's going to be like a 42-41 instant classic type game. But sitting at the schedule, looking at it right now, I'm like, I don't care who wins that game. It affects me zero.
All right. Mine is going to involve UCF as well, and that's when they entertain Iowa State on November 20th. I just couldn't care less. I mean, I just couldn't care. There's nothing about that game that just even slightly attracts me. The other one, the runner-up to that, is going to be October 30th, and that's a Friday night game with UCF and Baylor. And again, I think the only thing that intrigues me about that game is Dave Aranda still the head football coach at Baylor when that game is played, or is that the game that gets him fired?
Craig?
West Virginia and Iowa State. I just that doesn't do a whole lot for me. Iowa State, so far they haven't got anything that pulls my eyeballs to them to make sure I get to see
Matt
what
Campbell
happened.
made things intriguing.
Yeah, he sure did, and they were good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you felt like Iowa State could beat anybody, that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But Rich Rod and the new guy at Iowa State, Rogers, I think is his name.
Jimmy Rogers.
Yeah.
Not the Celtic basketball coach.
Yeah.
Or longtime assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not. That doesn't appeal to me.
See, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Anything that Rich Rod does, I'm intrigued by that whole situation.
We are aware.
And so
I'm not a Rich Rod guy.
I'm not saying I'm a Rich Rod guy.
Chuck, you're a Rich Rod.
I'm just intrigued by that situation just because him going back and can he duplicate the success that he had at West Virginia? I'm intrigued by that. Yeah. I'm intrigued by anything Cincinnati. Just because of what took
Only because
place.
I want them to lose.
Yeah, right. I also think in TCU, they've become like the second team that I hate the most. Okay, there's no color, there's no shade of purple, chartreuse, or anything that I will ever wear. Okay. And the two Arizona schools, I think, are very competitive and are always going to be kind of in the headlines. And KU, I'm heavily invested in. It's my alma mater, so that's understandable, right? K-State, passionately dislike. Want them to fail miserably. And Iowa State, I really don't care now because I think they're a coach away from relevance.
Yeah. You kind of brought up a good point, and I'll ask both of you. Do you have a team that you have a reason not to like, but there's a guy or there's another reason to like him? Let me give you an example.
Oklahoma State
and Eric Morris.
The only answer.
Now Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Sonny Dykes and Tony Benford for TCU.
I'm sorry, I can't sign off on that.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to sign off. I'm just saying I'm conflicted. I want those guys to do good. I know them personally, and I want them to do good. But at the same time, I'm not a big TCU fan at all. So.
Well, and here's the thing with it. I would feel differently about Sonny if he hadn't popped off the way that he popped off this summer.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
I just jump out there.
I mean, I just don't think there's any reason for that, and he comes off as bitter.
Yeah,
and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and Tony Benford's before my time.
But I am going to watch Iowa State and West Virginia.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
Hey, good morning. It is 8:02 this morning on the Morning Drive with Craig Wells, who's in for Jamie Lent this morning, and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts and comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline. And look forward to hearing from you today. We'll have the Rangers and the Rays on today, and the Astros and the Angels from the Big A in Anaheim. Have you been to the Big A in Anaheim?
Went right by it on my way to Disneyland, but did not go in.
Did not go in. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we'll have that game for you on 100.7 The Score. Have you done Disney World?
Yes.
Okay.
Not with the kids.
Oh.
Went to Disneyland with the kids.
With the kids.
Disney World on kind of a business trip type thing.
And you didn't take the grandkids to Disney World?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Are you waiting for somebody
to get a couple of them went to Disneyland, but yeah, we have not
done the world yet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've done. The little phenom has not been to Disney World, but I think we're headed more to Universal with the boys.
Yeah,
they're more thrill seekers.
Yep.
And then, for little boys meeting princesses at 7 is just not 6, 7 is not gonna.
Yeah.
Not gonna
the
be
interest
popular.
level is not there.
Yeah, and as it was with. Daughter number 2 and our oldest.
Yep.
So,
we went to we took all the grandkids to a lot of tech sporting events, to bowl games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Astros and the Angels tonight. We'll have it for you on 100.7 The Score, and then the Rangers and the Rays tonight on Double T 97.3. And that game will start at, that coverage starts at 5. Have you been to Tampa, any sporting events in Tampa?
No.
Okay.
Have not been to Tampa. Been to Orlando a couple of times, but have not been to Tampa. Jacksonville, Gator Bowl.
Okay.
But not been to Tampa.
Were you at the Gator Bowl game in 2007?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was one to...
Yep.
That was a biggie.
Yep. Last second field goal.
Right.
And it's really kind of not very nice, but not very good. But one of the things I remember most was Rylan Reed breaking his leg like 2 plays from the last play or something like that. And
it was ugly.
Oh, it was real ugly. And I can still see he wanted to come home, and they got him to the tarmac on the plane, and about 2 or 3 players had to pick him up and carry him up the steps, and so he could sit on the plane and come home.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not.
At least you won.
Yeah, that's right. That made it a lot better.
Yeah.
That made it a lot better. And his mother was right there with him, and you felt bad for him, but you felt like he was at least okay.
Yeah. Some things here from the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to Kyle Shanahan. I agree with Chuck. It took 5 minutes to report Tony Romo. Airbags cause a lot of damage, especially if you're not wearing your seatbelt. Yeah, I don't know if he was not wearing his seatbelt or not.
It's a good point, though.
I don't disagree with Chuck. That being said, why as a society do we feel we should know every detail of coaches' lives? More importantly, why do we care? If Chuck, hope he doesn't, has a wreck today, we won't know. Oh, you probably know, because I'll probably tell you. Just confusing. Why
I'm not going to say it would be the first thing out of his mouth tomorrow morning. We'd hear
It'd be close. It'd be real close.
Yeah. I mean, I'd fess up, right? I'd fess up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bragging. Hey, I got into an accident, I'll tell you what. Let me finish this, and I'll tell you something that just mind-boggled me last night on my way home. Just confusing why we should know and why, importantly, anyone cares. Missed the days where not everything was a story. I got you. I'm impressed they kept it out of the media for 11 days. Kudos to that 21-year-old girl for not becoming her social media post. Yeah. So here's the deal. And this is just kind of PR 101. If the 49ers announce this within 24 hours, it's a non-story. Hey, Kyle Shanahan was involved in an accident. The fact that he's not going to be able to coach the team, that's the story, right? That's the story. And with training camp just getting ready to start, it's not like this is February and we're not going to have anything until July. No, this is now. It just makes you wonder, okay, why did it take so long for this to get reported? And what do we not know here? They have put that doubt into their fan base's mind. And to those that, and the information has gotten messed up, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It's gotten messed up. Yep. So good for Shanahan to come out and say that it was his fault and not the girl's, and that he felt bad that the girl was being blamed for it. Good for him for doing that. And you hope that that's it. You hope that there's nothing nefarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just an accident? And he's just like 99%. If Jamie were sitting here, he would say, if that phone slips between my seats, I'm not going for it. Okay, but that's Jamie, and I believe that, right?
Yeah.
If that's me and the phone goes between my seats, yeah, I'm going for it. If it falls on the floorboard, yeah, stupid me is probably going to go, yeah, I can pick that up. Yeah. And look down and go, yeah, it'd be fine. Could I see myself doing what Shanahan did? Absolutely.
There's a caveat for me on that, and that is if my wife's sitting next to me, there's no way I go after that phone. No way.
Yeah.
She wants both eyes on that road.
Trust me, I'm heavily monitored. I just spent, 10 and a half hours with somebody on last Friday.
Yeah.
And I I think I told you this the other day, maybe I didn't, but I don't drive her car very often. And there's a stretch there, long stretch there, on the road where it's 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's, you have these passing lanes, and sometimes you get behind somebody that just wants to go 81, and I want to go 5 to 7 over. Okay. If you can go, if it's the speed limit's 80, I'm going to go 85 to 87. Okay.
Oh, you set your cruise?
Absolutely.
Like okay.
Absolutely. And then, so I'm passing this person. I'm like, well, that feels pretty good. And I stupidly turned to the lucky lady and said, it really doesn't feel like we're going 95, does it?
Whoa.
She's like, I would prefer that we not.
Yeah.
Well, then she fell asleep for a little while, and we went 90 to 95 for a little while.
I don't know why they have it, but that passenger seat's got that angle right to that speedometer.
Well, now if you're on the map thing, they can tell.
Yeah.
Chuck, I think you're making too big a deal of it. I'm going to remember this, okay? I'm going to remember this. And 2 weeks from now, when it comes out that there's more to this, then I'm going to say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.